So what is BI? So BI tools are nothing but a business intelligence tool. So it is a process. BI is a process, right? So it is divided into four major categories, right? You gather the data, you clean the data, you find the insights, and you share the data. So this is the BI process. Now, earlier, what happens before this advanced BI tools, wherein the BI tools were not available, what people used to do is people used to create all these things in Excel. They get the data, they do a lot of cleaning, they put a lot of formulas. We already have saw this, right? While creating that pivot dashboard, we already saw that there was a lot of, missing information. We have to get the information from the other sheets or other tabs, right? Or other workbooks. Then we create a pivot table, then we create a dashboard, nice dashboard, and then we share through the email. So what happens, this file I have created, very nice dashboard I have created. I have to share this dashboard with you. What I have to do is I have to share this file with you, right? I have to share this file with you. What does this mean? I am sharing the raw data also with you, because if I remove the raw data, you will not able to do this interaction, right? I have to share the raw data with you. Very first challenge. Now let's assume you have only 10,000 rows, right? But let's say you have a 1 million rows. Then what will happen? Sharing this file with you will become a problem. Every time I have to share this file with you with a lot of, information is there, raw data is information is there. And every time when a new data is updated, every time I have to send this on email. So don't you think like this becomes, very traditional way of sharing this dashboard? And if I have to share this with the 10 people, I have to send email to the 10 people. Suppose there is some changes in this during the day. Okay, I'll have to again update you. Okay, hold on. Don't refer the old file, refer the please new file. Why? Because there was some missing information there. So that's a challenge. This is a dynamic. This looks very nice, very, very beautiful, right? But there's a challenge. You have to share the old data, all the data. You have to send a file again and again to your distributors. Also have to share the raw data with them. And possibly they go ahead and they make some changes. They delete some file. Then they'll come back. Okay, no, this is not working. Then they realize, okay, they have deleted the old data and everything. Now, this was an old method of sharing the information of doing the business intelligence part. But with the help of this new BI tools, these things has been, eliminated. Now, what does this mean? I'll quickly explain you the complete process. Now, let's take some example here. So you have this Excel file here. Instead of sharing this Excel file, what you will do, you will connect this to one of the BI tool, which is Power BI. You create a report in this Power BI, very nicely created report in this. Now you don't have to share this file with your end user. What you can do is you can publish this Power BI file on a cloud, and then you can send one URL of that cloud. You can send that one URL to your users. What happens? They will open the URL. It will open in a, let's say, in a web browser. And then whenever you have some new data here, you will just refresh this and you will update it. You don't have to send the old everything. You don't have to send the source data. You're just sending the overview, complete overview. So that's why this BI tools comes into picture. They reduce a lot of manual efforts. They make your life easy. There's a lot of, security has been involved here. You don't have to share entire data. You can decide which person will look which data. You have a lot of control over your data, right? In the Excel, in the traditional method, what happens? There is no control at all. You have to share everything. But here you are sharing with a lot of control with having with you, right? So that's how the BI tools comes into picture, and BI becomes so popular nowadays. So the report looks like something this. So you share this with your end user. Now you see there is no data at all, but it is interactive. When you click on this part, everything is working fine. You click on this part. Now how this has created, this is what we are going to learn. So here you have something like bubble map. You have a complete overview. If you go to the continuous x-axis, how this looks like. Look at this, how the performances you can see here, daily performance, monthly performance, quarterly performance, yearly performance, right? Then you have this type of view. You can check like how your performance looks like. Okay. So this is the report which we have to create, right? But where we are going to create. So for creation, we require a Power BI desktop. Remember, there are two major components, right? What are the two major components? One is a Power BI desktop and one is a Power BI services. Power BI desktop will help you. You can see on my screen, there is an icon. Once you download, you will see this kind of icon on your screen. And this is my Power BI desktop. So this is used to create and to prepare the reports. But when it's come to sharing, collaboration, you can definitely share this and collaborate with your team using the Power BI services. So what is the definition of Power BI desktop? It is used to prepare all the reports, connect the data, clean the data, create a graph, chart. So introduction to the BI tool. So BI is a business and intelligence platform. BI is a process. And Power BI is a business intelligence platform which provide tools for aggregation, analyzing, visualizing, sharing the data. So what are the stages involved in BI process? In which process? BI process. So you have to connect to the data. Data connection is a step one. Then you clean the data, which is data transformation. Then you create a model, which is data modeling. Then you create a report with the help of visualizations, like create reports, charts, dashboards, and everything. And then the final steps comes as a sharing the report. Now, when it comes to sharing the report, you don't have to share all the files. You don't have to share all the raw data and material. You can share where you can share. You can share on the web services, mobile, email, Teams, mobile apps. You can share your report on these portals, right? So these are the 5 stages involved in any BI tools. And then when we use the Power BI, especially this parts comes under the Power BI part. So we connect to data, we transform the data, we create a model, we create the report, and then we share the report. Now, these first 4 section can be done using Power BI desktop. And this 5th section is for the Power BI services, which is a paid service, right? So for this first 4 section, you don't have to pay anything. It's absolutely free, right? But when it comes to share on a mobile app, on a Teams, on a web service, embedded, like HTML pages, if you want to share on all these platforms, then you have to pay how much? Somewhere around $10 per month per user. So this one is a Power BI desktop, and this one is Power BI services. Now in services also there are multiple options, like you have a services. So there are 2 type of license. The license one is a pro and second license is a premium license. Right. So both has some different charges. So that I will definitely explain you when we will cover a little bit about the services part. But as of now, it's just a beginning. Now, what are the components in a Power BI? So there are total 8 components. How many components are there? 8 components. So what we are talking about is about these 2 components, Power BI desktop and Power BI services. So there are 2 things, pro and premium. But there are some other options as well. So there are some gateways as well. There are some Power BI reports server on premises. Then mobile app is different. Excel publisher is different. Report builder is different, embedded is different, right? Now, out of all these things, you have to pay charges only for this, and rest all this comes with the services part. So this services is a major, we can say there is a first level this, second level is this, and inside this you have these services. So as I cannot say like, okay, I don't have to pay anything for this, but I cannot use this without this part. I have to use the services to publish my reports builder. I can use only with Excel publisher when I have a pro services, right? I can use mobile app when I have a pro service license. I can use embedded part when I have a pro service license, right? So all these things are possible with the help of services. But remember, when you are into as a developer, you require this free desktop only. Your work will get done with the help of this free desktop. You don't have to go as of now on all these things. Now there is an architecture of the Power BI, how the Power BI works. So we have already saw the architecture of the Excel, how the Excel works. You have Excel file, you create a report, you create a pivot table, you create a chart, and then you send this report entire file to your user, correct? You send this entire Excel file to your user. But for Power BI, it's a little different. See what happens here. You connect to the data source, you create a report, and then you publish to the services. Now, this is architecture. You can share this on a MS Teams, emails, and mobile apps. So you don't have to create or you don't have to share the data source. Now, what does this data gateway means? What is this gateway means? Now, let me give you one simple example. You have an Excel file. You have created a report on that, and you share Excel file. Now, what happens when you have a new data? So very simple. You will dump this new data again into Excel. You will do the refresh here, and then you will again share the file. You will repeat this process again and again. Whenever you have a new data, you have to repeat this entire part. You get this data into Excel, you refresh your report. Maybe it's a pivot table or whatever you have created, Power Query. You get the data here, you refresh the report, you share the file. Now new data has come, again you are repeating everything. But in Power BI, what happens? There is a concept called as a gateway. Now, whenever you get a new data, you don't have to refresh again and again, and you don't have to share. Your user will directly get this data on a scheduled time. So you can schedule the refresh. You can schedule the refresh time. So let's say every day, 11 o'clock, you think like, okay, you have received a new data in your data source, and you set a timer for 11:30. What happens when the user will open this URL at proper 11:30, the data he will get refreshed, a new data updated one, without your manual intervention, right? So automatically with the help of this gateway, the data will be automatically refreshed and published to the user on a given time. And the email will also be sent to the user. So this is a kind of a complete automation. Your email will get notification on the email. The new data is available. To see the report, go and check the report part. right? So you are not only creating a report, but you are automating this. Life easy, yes, definitely. That's why the Power BI has come into so much demand, because it, like once you create and you can just monitor it, you don't have to put the daily manual efforts to work in the Excel part. And that's why it is one of the leading business intelligence tool. Till 2015, Tableau was a leader. I hope you have heard the word name of the Tableau, right? Power BI has introduced in 2013, and since then it has leading the chart. Now it has become the topper. If you go and check the Gartner report for this 2022, you will definitely see this is the leading. There's a two reasons. One is definitely it's a Microsoft product, so everything is very easy here in order to connect. And the second part is Tableau for services. You have to pay around $70 per user as a license cost, and in Power BI you have to pay only just $10. Lot of saving here. Companies are moving towards a Power BI because of this major reason. And that's why the data analyst, those who know the Power BI, data analyst, those who know the Power BI and SQL are most in demand, because mostly the data comes from SQL and it is report is front end is created in a Power BI. Power BI is definitely very much used for the data analyst people. So you all can see this screen. When you click on the Power BI desktop icon, there will be a small window here which says like start tour, and you can definitely go through that videos. It's a very nice videos, and that is from the Power BI, from the Microsoft. But as of now, it is not required, so you can cancel that, and you will see this window here. So you can definitely see here the new updates, Power BI blog, forums, tutorial, right? You can definitely go with this tutorial as well. So this will take you to some Microsoft website only, find the right training path and everything. So a lot of information, a lot of updates has been shared by Microsoft every month, or I can say every. So look at this. So when I click on this new update available, so it will say okay, every month there is a new update. You have to keep updating your Power BI. It's a free of cost. Look at this. What was the first version? The first version was in July 2013, and after that every month you have a new version. Now, pay attention on the screen, everyone. You all have the same screen. First of all, we'll have to save the file. So what is required in order to save the file? What are the things required in order to save the file? Can I say the path? Okay, what else you required? You have selected a destination. So when you click on yes, save, so you have to provide the destination. So let's say this is my destination. I have given the destination here. What else you required? You need a name. You need a name of the file. Then you need a name of the file. I'll give here as a 000, my first file. So I'm giving name as a template. And then the third part is extension. So what is the extension of a Power BI? Extension is PBIX. Extension is PBIX. Now save the file. You will see the file has been saved as a 00 template. And you will see here in the folder, there is a Power BI file is saved. Now we are going to see the overview, like interface of the Power BI. So how does this look? This looks very nice, fancy. A lot of things are there, right? But there are some technical things which you need to keep in mind. So everyone pay attention on the screen. There are a few technical words which you have to remember. So every file has the 4 sections. It also has the 4 section. The first one is called as a ribbon. So you have the page 1, page 2, page 3. Like you have a sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. You have a page 1, page 2, page 3 here. Okay. And this one is your ribbon. The ribbon is not kind of Excel ribbon. It has a very different options here that I'll definitely cover when we'll start with the data connection. Okay. But there are two important things which I want you to focus 100%, right? What is that? On my left-hand side, you will see there are 3 options. Try to see there are 3 options. And the first option, the very first option is called as a report. Can you see this option, the report? So the first option is called as a report. Option number 2 is called as a data. And option number 3 is called as a model. This is very important. On my left-hand side, you will see there are 3 options. The first option is a report. You are in a report page. So this is your report page. Okay, look at this. This is your report page. Second is a data. This I'll explain you how the data looks like. And this is your model. I'll also explain you what is the model. Report page looks very, like as a white canvas where we are going to create our charts and everything. So page 1, maybe page 2, page 3. So this is my report. Now I have a data. Currently, data looks completely blank. So definitely when we will load the data, you will see the data preview here. But remember, you cannot edit this like Excel. You have to write a DAX. You have to write a DAX formula in order to edit the data. Okay. So here we are going to learn about the DAX. And the third one is a model. As of now, it's a completely blank because there is no data at all. Now, another important part is my right-hand side. On my right-hand side, you will see these kind of panes, which we call as a PANES panes. Like we have a pivot tables field. We have the same thing here as well. We have this a little advanced. Very first thing is a fields. When I say fields, whatever data you're loading here, you will see the header of the data here. You will see all the header like you see in the pivot table. So you will see all the headers of your tables. You have a table 1, you have a 10 header. You have a table 2, 10 headers, and so on. Fields are nothing but a common. In a database language, we call it as a column. In Excel, we call it as a column, but in database, we call it as a field. That's a simple part. Remember this. So record is row and field is nothing but a column. In Excel, we call it as a row column. In a database, we call it as a record and field. All right. Now, second option, I'm moving to the second part, visualization. Very interesting. And most of the time, we will be here only. So in the visualization, you will see some inbuilt visualization here. Around 30, 24 or 30 visualizations are here. Where I am as of now, my cursor is where? Charts. To be very precise, where is my cursor? Stack column chart. So when you hover the mouse on this, you will see the names here, right? So where you are, very important. When I say charts, it's not like blindly you can go in. I'll say, okay, clustered column chart. So you have to search here the clustered column chart. Look at this. You don't have to go with any of the chart. So every chart has a name, pie chart, metrics, table, slicer. We are going to cover this, right? And one important thing, this option is available under the build visual. This option is available where? All these charts options are available where? Inside the build visual. But there are some other option as well. Format. Now format is what? So whatever you are creating the visual, you are doing the formatting of that visual. So very important 2 section here. Actually, there are 3 sections. The third will come when you create something. So first section is a build visual. Second is a format visual. Third is a analytics. Now this one is a filter. A filter by name, it suggests like, okay, what is going to happen with the filter. Filter is nothing but helping us to filter the data. So there are some different type of filters, filter on the page, filter on all pages, filter on visual. That also I'll show you with the proper this one. Now I don't want to keep this all open. I can close this and I can keep my window bigger. But whenever I required, I can open this and I can close this. Format visual is used to do the formatting. For example, you want to change the color, you want to change the font, you want to change the orientation. So visual is a chart. Visual is what? A chart. Format visual means like you are formatting your visual. By default, there will be a default color, but you want to change, you want to see some different color. So you have to do the formatting. Now, very important one. You will see the import data from Excel here. You will see the get data here. 1, you will see 2, you will see Excel workbook here. Now, what do you think? All 3 are different, or maybe this and this are different? What is your guess? You see the import data from Excel here. You see the workbook here. So tell me, is this different or they are same? Different, I think, yeah, I can also say different because this has a different icon, this has a different icon, right? But there is no difference here. It's all same. So what Power BI has done, you will see get data here as well. Look at this. So you have an Excel here, you have an Excel here, you have an Excel here. If you click on this, you will have Excel here. If you click on this, you will also see the Excel here. If I click on this, you will still get the same window of Excel. Look at this. Now here also you will get the Excel workbook. So what does this mean? All these options are same. They have placed it at multiple places to make it user friendly, right? So whichever option you will select, no impact on the data. So how many types of database we can connect with the Power BI? We can connect 70 plus databases. How they are assigned? They are not assigned alphabetically. Look at this. What is the first common data source? Excel workbook, most commonly used. Then you have a SQL server. Then you have a CSV. Then you have a web. Then you have a OData. So these are the 4 or 5 commonly used data sources. But if you want to see the complete list, click on Get Data and click on More. You will see the complete list here. It will take time. So you have all these files. So these are the definition of files. So these are the databases. You can connect to all these databases, different type of databases. You have already learned SQL Server. You can connect to SQL Server, Access, and so on. Some Power Platforms. Azure services. What is Azure services? All the cloud services, everything on a cloud. So you can definitely connect to the lot of, cloud storage as well. Online services, again, web pages, SharePoint, Dynamic, Salesforce. All these are the CRMs and all these are the front end plus backends, something others. So we are going to connect with the Excel. Our first target is started now. I generally go with this Excel workbook because if you go this one time, then definitely once you have a reports here, then this will be the disable. This will only be visible only first time, right? So it's absolutely fine. You go with this, that's okay. I'll go to the Excel workbook. I'll browse my Excel workbook and I'll click on this data and then I'll press open. So now I'm connecting my Power BI with Excel. Here you go. In a very first place, you will have this navigator window. In the navigator window, you will have the information about this Excel file. And guess what are these things? They are the sheets. They are the sheets tab. in the Excel file. Table will be showing something here, but as of now, they are the sheets. So now you want to get which sheet? So I can say maybe customer, order, people, product. So what is the problem with the people table? Do you see some problem with the people table? Is any problem with the people table? Yes, headers are missing. So the data is coming from the Excel is not necessary. The data will be structured. The data will be unstructured and you have to do cleaning. Return. What is the problem with the return? One thing, header. So you have this order ID and this you have to eliminate, right? So definitely we are going to do this where? In a source. Are we going to do this in a source or where? So what happens? So once you connect your Excel, so your data will go from Excel to Power Query, and from Power Query, it goes to Power BI. So when you connect the data, it will not directly go to the Power BI. It will go definitely. It's not like you cannot directly load to the Power BI, but there is a mediator, Power Query, and this will help you to convert your unstructured data to structure, and then you can load to the Power BI. So look at this. There are three options. Do you see there are three options here? Out of one is a cancel. So what is mean by transform? If I click on the transform, it will take to the Power Query editor. If you see like, okay, data is something problematic, there is some problem here, then we will go to the transform. And if I click on the load, what will happen? It will take the data directly to the Power BI. So if you are happy with the data view, if you see, okay, you are only targeting on the customer detail and you see here everything is okay, then I will not go to the transform. I can directly load to the Power BI. But now you see, okay, there is some problem with the people table. I cannot directly jump to the Power BI. I have to first fix this information. I have to fix this information. I have to fix this information. And then I will go to the Power BI. So where should I click now? On a transform tab. The moment I click on the transform, our friend will appear here. Who is our friend for the data cleaning? Power Query Editor. Look at this. You are not into Power BI. You are into Power Query Editor. If you learn Power Query, it will help you at two places. One is in Excel and one is in Power BI. Everything is same here. This is why the Power Query is also important. If you are not working in Power BI, it is useful for Excel as well. If you are working in Power BI, it is useful here as well. It is the base. It is a transform. It's a kind of a, like a machine, raw material machine where you put the raw material and you get some output, nice output. So customer detail, you already have customer detail. So order table. Okay, order table looks okay. There is no challenge with the order table. Product detail. Okay, tell me what is the problem with the product detail? What I have to fix here? Headers. And where I will find the header? Go to transform and click on use first row as a header. Look at this. Step has been accepted here, added here. So the product detail has fixed. I have to do again same thing with the people. Okay, delimiter. And before delimiter, yes, first I have to press header. So header is updated. And now you all know how to split this. Tell me what is the step for splitting. So select the column, right click, and then you will see split column. And you will see this option at multiple places. You will see this option here. You will see this option here. You will see this option in the home as well. So again, all are the options are the same. Will return you the same answer. I prefer to go with the right click. So can I go with the delimiter? Yes. So delimiter, what is my delimiter here? Space. But which space? All spaces or leftmost. So you don't have to go with all spaces. You are just targeting on the first space. So I'll say space and I'll go with the leftmost and then press OK. The moment you press OK, you have an order ID here. You have a return reason and then you have a. So now what is the final one? Can I rename this one? Yes. So it's a order ID and it's a return reason. Do I need to fix the vendor as well? Yes. So I'll go to the vendor, use first row as a header. Okay, we have completed all our cleaning part. Now our data is clean enough and ready to load where? In Power BI. So look at this. There is an option inside the home tab. If you click on this, it will say close and apply. So you have to press close and apply. So you have to close this window and you have to apply all the changes to the Power BI. So close and apply. I'll go and click close and apply. I'll have to wait here. Do not forcefully do anything. Do not try to cancel this one. Let it be. See, data has been loaded. It's creating some model, creating some relationship. Do not forcefully do anything. Give a 5 or 10 seconds. Everything will be fixed. And here you go. You have all the tables available here. And if I expand this little bit, you will see all the headers of the table here. Nicely organized. All the tables name. And when you expand this, you will see all the headers name. Now we are going to move into the report creation. So what exactly the report creation works. Now, if I click, let's say on a people table, but I don't see the information of any people here. So what I'll do, I'll go to the data tab. In a data tab, I can see all the information here. Look at this. But as I mentioned now, you cannot edit this one. So in a data tab, you will find all this information here. This is not a Power Query. So you cannot apply any Power Query steps here as well, right? So all these are the preview of your actual data. It's not a preview, it's actual data. So how many rows I have from the order table? Where can I see this information? How many rows I have in an order table? 9994. You will see on the left bottom corner, you will see the entire information. So whatever data, actual data has been loaded, you will see all those information here. Now, if I go to the data model, something is I can see here, but I cannot see the all table. So just pay attention on the screen. How to get the all table in one view? Go to the right corner, right bottom corner, you will see an option called as a fit to page. You all can see this option, fit to page. So click on this fit to page and you will see all the tables here. Maybe you can close this for a time being. Try to keep this like this one. And then we will see like what is happening here. Now you can increase the size. So we have a vendor table. Now what is happening with the vendor table? Vendor table is connected with, now maybe I can show you here. I'll keep the order table in center because it has many columns. So I'll increase the size here and keep the cursor on the vendor table on this line. What do you see? What is your observation here? So one to many. And what is a common ID between these two tables? You can see the vendor ID is highlighted here. So vendor ID is automatically connected with this. Okay. Now, before we go to the any kind of visualization, we have to fix few things. Now, customer detail, is this connected correctly? Customer ID with customer ID, it is connected correctly, right? Now look at this. Is this connected correctly? Region with region here, it is also connected correctly. So I'll move it here a little bit. Okay. I'll try to design a proper model here. Now product ID is not connected. So what should I do with the product ID? Product ID, I need to connect with my order table. So what do you see? What is a common factor in these two? In this two table, PID. So I'll have to drag PID and I have to drop, not anywhere, huh? I have to drop it exactly on the product ID, remember. But it says, okay, there is some problem. What is the problem here? This is going to create a many to many relationship. So we definitely don't want as of now. So we will skip this part because here it says the product ID here and the product ID here are duplicates. That should not be the case. We should definitely have checked this one, whether the product ID is duplicate or not. So we will verify this in a Power Query. So as of now, we will not create any relationship between product detail and product or an order table. So we'll keep this as it is. Now we'll check about the order, return and order. So these are my return information and with which column I have to connect return and order ID. So I'll click order ID and try to move it on order ID. And this has become a successful. So I can see it's a one to many. Again, it's a one to many. Again, it's a one to many. And again, it's a one to many. It's a simple. So what has happened here? We saw this was not created. So we created this properly and then we arrange it in a center table. Now tell me with this look, what do you see? What is a fact table here? Order is a fact table because it has a lot of numeric information and this is going to update regularly, right? Fact is order. And what about vendor, return, customer, people? They are all dimensions. They are all dimensions. This is a sub dimension. Huh? This is not a directly connected to the order. So this is a sub dimension. So we are where as of now we are in Power BI. So we found, okay, there's a problem with the product detail. There's a problem with the product detail. How we can go ahead and fix this one. So how to go back to the Power Query. So from Excel, we go to the Power Query and then we are in a Power BI. Okay. From Power BI again back to the Power Query. So double click here, it will not work. Like in Excel, you double click and it will take you to the Power Query. So it will not work here. So you have to go to the three dots. Can you see the three dots here in front of every table? These small three dots. So you click on these three dots and you will see edit query. You will see the option of edit query. Now, if this becomes difficult to find out, then not a problem. Go to the home tab and in the home tab, you have this transform data, this one. Click on this and it will take you to the Power Query. So in the home tab of Power BI, if you click on the transform tab, it will take you to where Power Query. Okay. So we have to go and check the product table. So I have to find out what's the problem with the product table. Let me select these two columns. Okay. And then if I go and check the entire data set, it says me how many rows are there? 1894, but it said it's a duplicate. How come it's a duplicate is appearing here? We'll have to go back and check in the view tab, column distribution. Okay, look at this. What is the problem here? You have a 1862 as a distinct and 1830 as a unique. That means there are 32 entries which are appearing more than one time. 32 are duplicates, correct. So this was the problem because of which we were not able to, fix that part relationship. So you understand now how this is important about this column profiling and all these things, how this play a role here in terms of data validation, right? We don't have access to the source. Look at if you're taking this data from the SQL server, then you don't have access to the SQL server. So how you can fix? You have this Power Query. So what I'll do, I'll select these two, right click, and I'll try to see remove duplicate. Okay, it says remove duplicate is done, but I don't see any difference here. Or maybe what I'll try to see, maybe I'll go with the column one, remove duplicate. Okay, this makes sense now. So sorry, my bad. I was selecting the two columns, which was incorrect. So look at this. So 1862 is a unique, a distinct, and 1830 is a unique. So I need to remove this, the information which is appearing more than one time. But if I have to check this, whether we are doing correct or not, how we can verify this? So what we'll do, we will do the sorting of this, ascending order, and we'll try to see quickly, like, do we see any duplicate here? I know it's not that easy. Here you go. I got something here. Look at row number 67 and 68. Is it, like okay to delete this information? There is a possibly this product was given a product ID this earlier, but later there was some addition in the product. There was an addition in this product, and the same ID has been given to this product as well. So in one scenario, I can say we can delete this because this is the updated one. I can say this one, this will become my updated one. It has some additional information, right? So I have a global task, chair and black. Here I have a global value, mid, black, manager, chair, gray, and so on. We'll check one more. We'll try to see if we can quickly look at this because I know it's not that easy to find out the duplicate. Looks a little tricky, but yeah, we can take a call depending on our data set. So I'm not saying absolutely delete it. First check with the stakeholder. Look at this 43, 186, and this one. Again, Dex wooden document. So Dex accessories, frame. So something has added here. Sometimes, like this becomes difficult. So can I delete this or not delete? It's a very big question for me, right? So what I will do, I will try to see all the duplicates from here. So let me check if I can select some duplicates. We have a remove duplicate. We'll see in the home tab. Look at this, everyone. Pay attention on the screen. Very interesting part I'm going to show you. Click the product ID column, go to home tab, and do you see this option, keep rows? Here what I will do, I will say keep duplicates. Okay, it says these are the 232 duplicates one, and these are their information. Now you can go back and check with your client. Okay, do you want me to keep this? Because I have the same ID for the different products. Now they will say, okay, no, not a fine. You can delete any one, that I'm okay with that. But it said, no, hold on. Something has missed with our entry, data entry. It should not be 46, it should be 47. Then you can say, okay, please go ahead and correct your data because it is causing a problem for me. Otherwise, it says, okay, no, go ahead. I'm okay with the deletion. You can go ahead and you can delete this. So how you can verify? You have to select the column product ID. In the product ID, go to home tab, go to keep rows and click on keep duplicate. And these are the duplicates, but they are not sorted. So you can do the sorting here. And now you can see this option. Now, should I go ahead and delete this one in this scenario? Now your manager says, okay, I'm okay with the deletion. No, we have not deleted. We have just kept this one. So I have to remove this one. So these are not deleted. These are just extracted. Yeah, so we can go ahead and delete. So remove this, select this column, right click and remove duplicate. So you have removed duplicate and now close and apply. So we fix the product table, product detail, close and apply. Now go to data model and now you try product ID with product ID where it is. The relationship is successfully created. So you understand how to fix these kind of challenges. Acha, one more thing. I'll explain you one more part, which is important one here. So we have handled the data type, special data type category, hierarchical dimension and all these things. I'm going to quickly give you overview of this. Okay, look at this table closely. And what is your observation in all these columns? Do you see some different here? Something? What is that? If you see some difference, what is the difference? Do you see on the columns? On all the columns, calendar symbol is there. So what does this mean, calendar symbol? So what is the data type of this column? It is a date column. It is a date column. And then you have this sigma, summation icon. Now what does this mean, sigma? Just guess what would be the data type of these columns? Number. So these are my all numbers. These are all my numbers. And there is some blank as well. What is your understanding with the blanks? These are the text. So easy. Life is very easy in the Power BI, believe me. You have multiple ways to detect your data type. You don't have to go and check with the formulas. You have a date. If you see like, okay, date is not correctly here, and definitely you have to go back and you have to fix this. Look at this here. Postal code is a number. Customer ID is not a number here. Customer ID is a text, and here also customer ID is a text. And that's the reason we were able to create a nice relationship. So this is how you can see one. Now, what is mean by hierarchy? Where I am, first of all, in which view I am now? I am in which view? Report view. You need to look at this part. You will see a slightly yellow part here. And this is the report. When I say data, you are in this. When I say model, you are in this. Okay. Remember all these things. All right. I'll open the order table. So look at this in order table. We saw the order date is showing as a calendar icon, but there is a expand button also. So I'll click on this expand button and then I will see here date hierarchy. So date hierarchy is something like it is by default created. And if you expand this, you will see what is the date hierarchy. So you have a year, month, quarter, and day. So everything is properly created here. So there are three type of hierarchy. There are three type of hierarchy. One is a date hierarchy, one is a text hierarchy, and one is a geo hierarchy. What is a geo hierarchy? Geographical hierarchy. So you have a, let's say, country, then you have a state, then you have a city, then you have an area, and so on. So you have a geo hierarchy, you have a text hierarchy. Hierarchy means like what? This is a one and it has two branches. This is one, again, it has two branches, kind of thing. Or maybe one branch. You're drill downing, right? You're doing the drill down here. Very simple example. You all have a principal, under principal, then you have a assistant professors, then you have a teachers, and then you have a students. So students, you will have see multiple groups. So these students belongs to these teachers. They belongs to different assistants and they belongs to principal. In the corporate, you have a manager, you have a team leader, you have a supervisor, and then you have an agent. Hierarchy means like, okay, top to bottom. Hierarchy means like you have some CEO, GM, RH, exactly. Cricket match schedule is not be considered as a hierarchy. Hierarchy means like, okay, you have something here and then you have a branch of this. Look at the date. So date, what is the toppest? What is the top value here? Year. Then year, then we see quarter, then we see month, and then we see day. Do you understand this hierarchy? So day is the lowest part, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then combination of a day will become month. Combination of month will become quarter. Combination of quarter will become year. Sometimes, like hierarchy as, like branches as well, but here we are mostly talking about the single branch. We can say that. Can we create a hierarchy here? There is any possibility of creating hierarchy? I can see one. What is that? Where I can see category. So under category, I can see there are subcategories. So subcategory is a group of categories. Okay, let me show you here. Now let's start building our first visual. So I'll click on the clustered column chart. The moment I click on the clustered column chart, okay, look at this. So this is a structure of a clustered column chart. The moment you click on the clustered column chart and you select the clustered column chart, in this section, you will see three options. One is a build visual. Here you have to build a visual, like what is your x-axis, what is y-axis, what is legend, and so on. Then you have a format. You will have the formatting of this visual, and then you have analytics. Currently, we have not put any data. So first we have to put the data. So what I'm going to do is I am moving category into x-axis. And then I will check here. Do we have a sales column? Yes, I have a sales column that I'm going to move in a y-axis. Here you go. A nice chart is created showing me the overview of a category, sales by category. So technology, furniture, and office supply. How easily we can create this? One more time. I'm not happy with the category. I want to see subcategory. So I will remove the subcategory and then I will move, category and subcategory. Here you go. So you have subcategory wise, but now I'm not able to read this information. So what I will do, I've created clustered column chart. I will change this chart to cluster bar chart. Here you go. Now I can see here, they are more readable. How easy you can create a charts here. One more time. I'll create one more clustered chart here. And then in the clustered chart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move category and then I'm going to move subcategory. Okay, no, sorry, I made mistake here. Sales, I have to move the sales here. And now see what happens here. Why sum of sale, not only sales? By default, the numerical column will calculate into a sum. This we learn in the pivot table. When you move the sales column, when you move the number column into value, what happens? You will have a sum of that column, right? It's a sum. So by default, it's a sum. So I have not written this sum of sales. It's a default behavior. When you move the numerical column, it will return you sum. And when you move the text column, what will happen? It will return you the count. Look at this, count of category. So this is something like we have already learned in the pivot table. You remember I mentioned pivot table is a base and it is everything is derived from the pivot table. So the one who is very good in a pivot table or Excel analysis, then this becomes very easy for them to learn, right? So I move sales here and it becomes like this. Where I am now, I am in which chart? I am in a clustered column chart. So I'll do, yes, I'm in a report. I'm in a report. And inside the report where I am, which part I've selected? I've selected clustered column. Remember a clustered column. Why I'm saying you this? Because whichever you are selecting here, if you go to the format and whatever you will do, that will be applicable to this part. Let's say you want to do the formatting of this. So you have to select this first. You cannot select this and do the formatting of this. Very simple. So select this part and then you will see a lot of formatting here. So you have a x-axis, you have a y-axis, you have a grid lines. I am interested in a data label. I'll open the data label. So data label is 0.8 million, 0.7 million, but I'm not happy with the font size and everything. So I'm going to show you very fastest way to change the font and everything. Do you all see this search bar here? Go to this search bar, simple, and you see here the search bar. The moment I type font, it says, okay, where you want to increase the font? I'll say to the x-axis. No. I'll say to the y-axis. No. Title I don't require. Title I can make it off possibly. I can scroll down. Here is a data label. I can increase the size. I can make it bold, italic, underline, whatever I want. I can do that, right? So this is the first formatting I've explained you. So I've created a default one chart I've created using the category and sales. And then I did the format. In the format, I search here for the font and then I made some changes in the format. Okay. So I am finding a little difficult here because I don't know what is the border of the bar chart and what is the border of the column chart. I really don't know. So what would be nice here to show an outline here. So that will help me to understand, okay, how much space is occupied. And then we can also do some formatting on the title as well. So pay attention on the screen, how I'm going to do this, pay attention. And I'm going to show you, I'll do one and we will copy format on the second one. So select the column chart. I am in a build visual. I'll go to the format visual. In the format visual, you have two options, visual and general. Now this general formatting is applicable for all charts, but for visual formatting, you will see some different option here. For example, in a pie chart, do you have X and Y axis in a pie chart? No, it is not. In a pie chart, you will not see X and Y axis. You will see some different option there. So remember, but in general, look at this. Title is available with all the charts? Yes. So that option is available under general. Now I'll go to the effect. First, I'll go to the title. Okay, let's start with the title. And remember one thing, do not keep open everything on. Just expand and close, expand and close. Once you're done with close. So this is my title. You can definitely change the name of the title here if you're not happy with this. I will increase a little bit size. I will also change the text color to white and I will change the background color to blue and I will make it as a center alignment. Okay. So clear what I did here. Now I will select the bar chart. I'll go to the format visual. I'll go to the general. Inside the general, I will open the title. I can increase the size. Size is already 15. I can change the background color to white. I can change the text color to this one. Maybe I can this time I can take some amber and I'll make it as a this one. Now I made this as an amber. So what I will do, I will also change the blue color to the amber. So how I can change the color? You can see in the visual section there is a bars. Now what is the color of the bar? Is a blue. Now let's say you are finding it difficult. Where it is color. So just type the word here color and then you will see here. Okay, y-axis no, x-axis no, grid lines no. Here you go. So you want to change the color. You just put the color here and then change the color of the bar to maybe. Is this clear how you can do the format? After this, I want to show you two things. So remember, inside the general, what we are doing inside the general tab under the title. And now we have to add a border as well. Now, final thing, pay attention on the screen. I'll select the clustered column chart. I'll go to the general. I'll go to the effect where I am now. Everyone pay attention on the screen. Clustered column chart, format chart. Inside the general, I am in an effect. So in the effect, I have a visual border on, shadow on. Here you go. Now tell me, looks nice this one. Okay, the final part. If I click on office supply, see what happens. If I click on furniture, see how powerful it is. They both are connected. It's not filtering, it's a highlighting. It's only highlighting those bars which belongs to office supply and the remaining are gray out. They are there, but it's not getting highlighted, right? So it's a highlighting. So by default, interaction between the visuals are highlight. When you click on this, it will get highlighted. Now look at this. If I click on phone, it says like, okay, phone is a part of a technology and inside that technology, the sales of phone is 0.33 million. Chairs belongs to furniture, storage belong to office supply, right? We will see a lot of new things here. Quickly, I will show you the card here or maybe the slicer or maybe the card. Okay, now tell me what is my total sales? Difficult, right? I'm saying total sales for all three categories. Difficult to calculate. So, and what is a count? I don't know. What is the average? I don't know. So what is good to have some cards on the top of this. So I'll click on the white area. I'll click on 1, 2, 3. Can you see this 1, 2, 3 in the visual section? Click on this 1, 2, 3. Then you have this nice box here, a small box. In the small box, just move the sales 2.3. Select this white area. Go to the visual and click on this 1, 2, 3 card. Do you all see the card 1, 2, 3? Click on this 1, 2, 3. Reduce the size of the card. Try to make it like a small one here. And now when you select the card, you will see the option here called as a field. What I will do, I will move the sales into this field. So move the sales into field and you have a 2.3 million. One more time. I'll go and I'll select one more card, 1, 2, 3 here. So this is a new card. And in this, what I will do, I will move category. But it says me, okay, it's a furniture. No, it is not the right one. We are looking for count. So when you move the category means text column, by default, it will not give you the count here. You can see this is a small drop down and then you have to go and then you have to click on count. Okay. So you have a total 994 records for which the sales is 2.3 million. What nice would be to have the border here. So I'll go to general and I will open the borders and shadow. So I have a 2.3 million sales for count 994. Now, if I select technology, see what happens. Now, how you will read this? For technology, this is my total sales. And what is the count of the technology? 1847. Is this clear? How this cards has been created? Okay, one more minute. Pay attention on the screen. I'll show you quickly the last one. Maybe I will copy the sales, Control C, Control V. So I've copied this card, Control C and Control V. So this is sales sum, this is count. And what we can expect here, the third one, what would be the percentage? What else? Aggregate function. We have three major aggregate functions: sum, count, and average. So select this card. Look at this. It is showing sum of sales here. It is showing sum of sales. So go to the drop down and select the average. Okay, so it says total sales is 2.3 million. This is my total count and then my average sales. So 452 technology average, 349, office supply 119. So definitely the average sales for office supply is very less compared to this one. So clear how we have created this nice report. So we are going to explore some other chart options. We are going to understand what are the terms in the given visual, right? Now, these are the major two topics, but what we are talking about here is when I say exploring the other charts, like we are going to see the line chart, pie chart, area chart, we are going to see the edit interaction, tree charts, and some geo charts, right? And what about the understanding important terms in the given visual? So what we are going to understand is like what is mean by axis, value, few things we are going to cover, for example, like tool tips. We'll see some about pivoting, matrix table, a demo of hierarchical dimension, right? I'm going to show you the practical part, how it looks, and if you have to create, how you can create it, right? So now this is something like we have created, I renamed this page sales by category. Okay. So I'll give a name here as a sales by category, and then I'll open with the new page. Okay. So it's a new page I have opened here. Okay, now I'm going to show you some new charts. So we are going to see about the line chart, donut chart, area chart. So line chart and area charts are almost same. It is just how you show this, right? So hierarchy. So hierarchy, I was saying about the hierarchy. So hierarchy, we have a date hierarchy. So look at this. When you expand this and when you say this option, so date hierarchy is always inbuilt. You don't have to create this. It is always inbuilt. Now, what is mean by hierarchy? We can say it's a drilling part, right? So year comes on the top, then quarter, then month, and then date. So is this part is clear? Hierarchy part is clear. We are going to use this now. So I'm going to create a line chart. Now, when to use the line chart? Any idea? It is used to show some trend. So graphical representation, everything is a graphical representation, but very specific thing. When you have a x-axis as a continuous variable, right? So continuous means like what? You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a day. You have a Jan, Feb, March, you have a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. These are called as a continuous data. Okay. Now, if I say you, okay, Amar, Akbar, and Thani, this is the continuous data? These are the categorical data. These are the x-axis. So when x-axis is a categorical, then you have to use a column chart. Like in this previous example, we have a technology, furniture, and office supply. So these are not treated as a continuous data. They are the categories. They are the categories. And that's the reason we use this one. But now I'm going to show you the line chart. So pay attention on the screen. I'll click on the line chart. And this line chart will appear like this. And I am going to move sales again in the y-axis. So this is my total sales, somewhere around 22 lakhs, 97,000. And what I'm going to do is I have this date hierarchy, but I will move the entire date column into the X field. x-axis. So the moment I do this, see what happens. Here you go. You can see all this information is available here, year, month, quarter, and date. But you will say, no, hold on. I don't want to see an entire day. It becomes very difficult for me to read like 14, 15, 16, 360 days. There is no clear view in this. I just want to see year on year. So the moment you move the hierarchy, in the x-axis, these options will be visible on the top of the visual. Now look at the column chart. Do you see those arrows here? On the bar chart, do you see those arrows here? No, right? Now the moment I move this one, date hierarchy or the date part, I can see this one. Now what is the benefit of this? You can use drill up and drill down. So there are 4 different options here. I'm going to explain here. The most used one is the first one and the fourth one. So first one will take me to the upper side. The moment I click on this, it will say me, okay, this is monthly. Look at the title. Try to read the title. So this is for year, quarter, and month. The moment I click again up, it is only showing me quarter and year. So I have a 4 years and quarter 4. So 4 into 4, 16 points. If I click up, then it says me you have a 13, 14, 15, and 16. You have a 4-year data. I want to go down inside that next level. So this is sales by year. Click. No, sorry, this one, third one. Or maybe I can go with the fourth one. Third one will use for the single part, but this is the multiple. So fourth one, again, and then again. Not happy with this. You want to see something else. Up only monthly and only month, quarter and year, and only year. So is this clear how this drill up and drill downs are working? Option number 1 and option number 4. You can also change the title here, the border and everything. So you have the general part. You can go to the general part and this one. And now you can change the border and then you can definitely increase the size here. Okay. And at the same time, if I copy Control C and Control V, if I create into area chart, this is also the same thing. But look at this. This looks a little like shaded area. So this is a shaded area and this is simple my line chart. So line chart and my area chart, they are almost same. We can say that, can try both here. So sales over the period of time. So I'll rename this page sales period of time. Now I want to see this information, or this is for all products, right? Oh, sorry, all category, right? I want to see for a specific category. So I want to create some filters here. I want to create some slicers so that I can filter the data. So I'm going to create a slicer. Can you see this slicer option here? So click on this slicer and you will have this option. This is small option will be available here. Okay, what I want to move here is I will move the category into field and see what happens. Now I can say this is the furniture sales, this is office supply, and this is a technology. So I can see the performance by category as well. So I've given the user to select. Like you remember before this, where we have saw this option, these slicers are available where? In a pivot table, right? So we created these slicers. Again, you can go to the general setting. You can do this time only border and this one. And let's say you want to increase the size. You can go to the font. Look at this format visual. You will have only limited information here because you don't have an X and Y axis. So you can go to value and increase a little bit size. This looks okay. This looks nice now. Now I'll show you some more slicers setting here. So I will copy and paste here a slicer, second slicer here. Okay. And I want to see some additional information in the slicer. Like I don't want to see the slicer like this. So what I will do, I will this time move the category out and I will move the ship mode in. But ship mode, I don't want to see like this. I want to see kind of a buttons, kind of a 4 buttons, right? So these are the checkbox. Likewise, we have in our pivot table buttons. I want to change this to buttons, not a card. So card is something like you will have this information. So this is your card. Like this will give you a complete overview. Here I want to show this as a button. So just pay attention on the screen. Everyone try to focus on this. And then I will also explain you one more way of doing this formatting. So I'm going to select this. I'll go to the slicer setting. And then in the slicer setting, what do you see? How the orientation is currently vertical, right? So I'm going to change this to horizontal. And here you go. So you have this type of card. First class, this one. You want to keep this as a kind of a button. You can definitely keep this as a button. You want to make it as a horizontal. You can make it as a horizontal. You want to make it 2 by 2. You can make it 2 by 2 like this. What we have completed column, bar, card. Then we have completed line chart. We have completed area chart. And in the line chart, what is the important thing which we have saw? These options, drill down options. Remember, these options will be available only when your x-axis is a hierarchy. Remember this line. Huh? Okay, you want to see something new? Let me show you some new hierarchy. How to create a hierarchy. So I'm going to create a hierarchy of a text. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a text hierarchy. So I think in our data set, we have a two very close values to create a hierarchy. One is a category and one is a subcategory. Okay. So I want to create a hierarchy of a category and subcategory. So I'll select the category. I'll go to these three dots. And then you can see this option, create hierarchy. As this option is visible, I've selected the category, and in a three dots, I can see the create hierarchy. I will click on this create hierarchy. The moment I click on the hierarchy, look at this. A complete new line has added here. This is old. This is a complete new line has added here. So if I expand this, I can see the category has moved into the hierarchy. Now I will rename this by doing F2. I will rename this as a maybe cat hierarchy, okay, or segment hierarchy, or I can say a business hierarchy, business segment hierarchy. You can give any name. That's fine. Okay. So I've given the business segment hierarchy. Under the business segment hierarchy, I have only one value as of now, category. What I will do, I will select the subcategory. I will select the subcategory. I will click on three dots, and then I will, you can see this option, add to hierarchy. It says like add to business segment hierarchy, the one which we have given the name. So I will click on this part and see what happens. Now look at this. You have created a new hierarchy. In the new hierarchy, you have two values, category and subcategory. Okay, now create a line chart here, one more line chart. So I will, or maybe area chart you can create just to explain you how this work. And then I will move the sales column where it is, sales column into y-axis, and I will move business line hierarchy into x-axis. Look at this. As I mentioned now, these options will be appear only when you have a hierarchy in this. And look at this, how this looks now. Maybe you can take a column chart. I think column would be the nice chart to show this one. See this. So you have office furniture, office supply, and technology. And then inside furniture, you have this block. Then you have this block under office supply, and you have a third block under this one. Look at this. So this is my major part, and this is my sub part. So I can show in one chart, I can show both the information. I can create a hierarchy, and I can show this information, one information in both the charts. So we have a three type of hierarchy. One is a text, one is a date, and one is a geo. So date is a inbuilt. Remember, if your column is a proper date column, then it's a inbuilt. Text hierarchy you can create. Likewise, we created this hierarchy. So this is a text hierarchy. And geo hierarchy, I'm also going to show you the geo hierarchy, which is related to country, state, city, area, postal code, and all those things. Geographical hierarchy. Geo is nothing but a geographical hierarchy. Now I'm going to give this name as a, okay, pay attention on the screen, everyone. Something new I'm going to show you. Okay. So I'm going to create now tree map. I'll click on the tree map. Achha, before I create a tree map, I'm going to show you the pie chart. Why we use the pie chart? To show the contribution, like what is the total. We have received 100 rupee as a, let's say, collection, and who has given how much. So 50% given by Ajay, 25 given by Amar, and 25 given by this one. So 25% given by person A, person B, person C. So we have a total 100, and they are distributed in these 3 by 3 share or contribution. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add a category here in the legend, and then value in this. So tell me, is this readable? You have a 3 business major products you are selling, and you have the total sales coming from these 3 major categories, sorry. And you can see here. So technology is something 36%. This blue part is office supply, and this light blue is nothing but my furniture. So is this readable? This is readable chart. Anyone can understand this, what exactly you're trying to show? Yes, it's a very simple readable chart. Maybe we can increase the size here a little bit. So I'll go to the font. What I have to search here? So I'll have to search here font. Now look at this. I have to increase the font of these labels. So I'll go to the label and I'll increase the font size. So font size I have increased. Maybe I can make it bold. Okay, now this looks better. All right. So I've increased a little bit font size here. Now this is really good. Maybe I can also, as usual, I will add a visual border, and I will also try to add a black and white headers kind of thing. Looks nice, everyone. Sum of sales by category. You can rename this percentage contribution as well. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a copy of this. I will remove category and I will move subcategory. Now tell me, is this readable? I'm trying to show the contribution by subcategory, but is this readable? Definitely not. I have to do a lot of efforts to understand this blue belongs to phone, this belongs to chair, and so many things. So there is a rule, there's a standard rule. If you have a 6 series or 6 value, then go with the pie chart or donut chart. So currently I have a 3, 1, 2, 3, then it's okay. It is good up to 6. But if it is more than 6, then definitely don't go with this. So what is the solution? The solution is, instead of creating this pie chart, you create a tree map. Here you go. Look at this. Now this is much clear. You have a phone, table, everything. Now the size of the phone is bigger because why? What is the reason? Phone is given a bigger size because phone is on a higher sale, a higher value. So you got the point. Instead of using this pie chart for categories, for series having more than 6 values, you can definitely go for this option. So pie chart and donut, they both are same. Huh? So pie chart, Control C, Control V. If I create a donut for this, so they both are absolutely same. The only things in the donut chart, you have some blank space in the center and it is fully filled. So this is the only difference between pie chart and donut chart. Is this clear? Acha, can we add a labels in the pie chart? Try to search the labels. Try to see if we can add the labels here. In the visual, it is there. So in the visual, you have a data label on. So it is available. The labels are available inside the visual and data labels. And if you're not happy with this K part, then you can change the display unit to none. Now this is a new thing I'm showing you. So inside the data label, you have to do this setting. Display unit none and decimal. I think 0 would be the good option. So it's a tree, pie, and donut. All right. I'm going to show you interesting part here in a tree map. I'm going to create a tree map one more time. Okay. Now in a tree map, I'm going to use sales, and this time I will use the hierarchy. Okay. Sorry, my bad. I moved this in an incorrect one. Value. Here you go. So what I did this time, I created a tree map, and instead of using category or subcategory, I use the hierarchy. But in hierarchy, I can see this one. If I double click on this, I have all the option. If I single click on this, I have only this option. So I will go ahead and I will add labels, and I will also make sure labels are none with 0 decimal. Okay. And this is, like applicable with the hierarchies. So category label, I'll increase the size, and I'll definitely prefer to go with the borders on, and title also, I also want to keep on. Okay. This is personal choice, but I prefer to show every visual with the proper titles. Look at this. So I have explained you about 2 arrows, arrow number 1 and arrow number 2. What the role of arrow 1? It will go to the upside, and this one will go to the downside, right? So this will expand to the next level, and this will collapse to the first level up. But let's say I only want to see about the technology. What is my task? What is my question? I only want to expand technology. I don't want to expand furniture. I don't want to expand office supply. I only want to see what are there in the technology. I don't want to see all the categories. I'll click on this second button, and now I will click on technology. See what happens. Surprise. You have only phones here. Again, up. Click on office supply here. See, only office supply is visible. Click up, click on furniture, only furniture is visible. So if you drill mode, if you keep on this, right, then you can say to your user, okay, when you click on any of the series, it will show you the part of that series. Okay, up again, office supply, up again, furniture, up again. So this was not available in the previous tree map. This is available in this map. Why? Because we are using the hierarchy here. Now what we are going to do this, we are going to create, let's say again, a simple column chart. So this is my column chart I'm going to create here. This time I will take some information from some different tables, because continuously we are taking information from the table 1, which is sales. Okay, so this is my sales. I want to show the total sales, but at the same time I want to show this sales by, let's say, people. We'll try by people this time. So this is by people. So Tom, Susie, Kelly, and Zara. So these are my 4. Now look at this. This time information is coming from the 2 different tables. Now how it is possible? Why we are getting the correct answer here? What could be the reason? One information is coming from table 1, another information coming from the table 2. So we have created a connection, right? So see what happens if there is no connection. So I think it was a people table and order table. So let me break this connection and see what happens. If I break this connection, see what happens. It says like all of them has done the same job, 22 lakhs. Is this correct information? Right? So whenever you try to create a chart, I'm giving you a tip, very important tip. Whenever you try to create a chart which is coming from the 2 different table, and you see this kind of view, immediately it should come in your mind like they both are not connected. So go to the model and connect this with region. The moment you create a connection, and then definitely you will see the correct answer here. I had encountered, now I got it. So this is a, we can say checkpoint. If you have some same type of data, same type of result, that means something is not correct with your connections. All right. So this is one thing. There's another thing I want to explain you here. So what is the second part I want to share? So I will create a maybe let's say we can create a tree map. Okay. Let's create a tree map here again. Or maybe what I can do is, this is nice tree map. I'll copy this one simple and I will paste it here. Okay, tree map as a subcategory now. So no subcategory I don't want. Okay, that will work. So I want to see, okay, and I'll also add a labels here. So these labels are this one. If I'm not happy with the label format, then what I will do, this 0.43 million is not, I'm not happy with this. I want to see these type of simple numbers. So any guess what I have to change is in the data labels? These are the labels, right? In a column chart. These are the labels in the column chart. So in the column chart inside the visual, what I have to change, where I have to make some formatting changes. These are called as a display units. Inside the labels, you will see the value section and you have a display unit. But now you will say, okay, this is very difficult to find out this. That's correct. So you can use this search box and you can type here as a display unit. Look at this. So you have a display unit at two places, one in a y-axis and one in a data label. So now you have to find out decimal and make the decimal 0. And if you want to do it both in a same in a one go, then go to the format your visual, data label on, go to the value. So display unit none, make the value decimal 0. Maybe I can increase the size also. This looks better now compared to that 0.04 million. Right now, what is happening here? If I select Tom, what is happening with the data? It is showing me data for all, but for Tom, it is highlighted and for rest, it is gray out, right? But I don't want to see like this. When I click any person here, what should happen? It will only show me the data for that person, right? This gray out, I don't want to see. We don't want to see this gray out part. This is a default behavior. So default behavior is highlight. So maybe I can type here and we want filter. What we are looking, we want filter. Okay. So now this type of, like when you click one chart and second chart should take some action or it change like that, this concept is called as a edit interaction. This concept is called as a edit interaction. So select the source chart from which you want to control. So I selected a source chart. I'll go to the format where I am in the format. In the format, you will see this option, edit interaction. So I'll click on this edit interaction. Now tell me, what do you see? What is your observation when I click on this edit interaction? I selected this, I selected format, I selected edit interaction. What do you see on a tree map? Look at this. Do you see some changes? You see there are three options on the top. So one is a highlighted, the center one. The first one is a filter and the last one is a none. So we are looking for filter. So I will select this option, filter option, and I will close the window of edit interaction. The window I have closed. Now see what will happen. Look at this. I have only information. It's getting filter here. Maybe I'll show you one more time, but not with the person. What I'll do, I will remove the person and I will add a category here, normal one, normal category. So now look at this. If I select furniture, technology, office supply. So the one which we were doing in the previous example inside the chart, now we have given user something like this. So when you click on this, the data will get filtered. When you click on this, so everything will be visible. So what I did, I have selected this chart, my source chart. Then I selected the format. Then I selected edit interaction. The moment I select edit interaction, I will see there are three options. Option 1 is a filter. Option 2 is a highlight. And option 3 is a none. So by default, it is a highlight. I will select the filter and I will close the interaction part. So what is a geo hierarchy? So geo hierarchy is available where? I think it is available in a customer detail. What I'm going to do is pay attention on this. First, I will show you without hierarchy and we'll see what happens. So I'll click on the map. Okay. So this is my map and the map has a different building part. It has location, legend, latitude, longitude, and the bubble size. So the location, I will move, let's say country. So it says only one country, which is United States. That's okay. I can cancel this and I will try maybe state. Here you go. So these are my United States. But how I can know which country has a higher, which city has a higher sale or which state has a higher sale? This is difficult, right? Because every bubble is the same size. The bubble size are exactly same. It's become difficult. So what I will do, I'll open the order table and I will move sales into bubble size. Now how this is working, why they both are working, they're coming from the two different table again, but they are perfectly working here because of relationship. Now look at this. California has a big bubble here and this is a small bubble here. So you can say, okay, this is the one. But I want to see inside the California, like, okay, what is the total? Like I want to see overall country. So I want to create a hierarchy. This is a good, this is definitely good. If I have only one column, which is state, I can go with this. But I want to show by city, country, state, all these three. Okay, region is not a part of this. So I'm going to create a hierarchy here. How we can create? So very first thing, you need to categorize this. So it would be good if you categorize this. If I keep the cursor here in the column tool, look at this. What is the data category for the country? It is uncategorized, right? So what I will do, I will open this and I will say, okay, treat this as a country and see what happens. Do you see something new icon next to country, a globe icon, right? So this is treated as a geographical now. We will do same with the city. I'll say, okay, consider this as a treat this as a city, then we have a state. I will say go to this and state or province. In the customer detail, how we have created these 1, 2, and 3, right? So now you have a new icon here. Okay. So now you know like how to create a hierarchy. How can I create a hierarchy? What would be the first value of the hierarchy? Where should I keep the cursor and create a hierarchy? Country is going to be on a top. So 3 dots and I'll create a hierarchy and I will give the name here as instead of country hierarchy, I'll give name as a geo hierarchy. Now, in the geo hierarchy, what is expected second value? I think state, right? So select the state, 3 dots, add to geo hierarchy. And the third one is definitely city. Select this, add to geo hierarchy. So you have a hierarchy here. Okay, now I'll go to my map. I will remove the states and I will move the geo hierarchy. Okay, I can definitely see United States here. If I want to go to the next level, then I have a state and country, but I don't want to see like this. So I will go to the next level, which is California. I want to see inside the California, what is the situation. So I will select this option, single point, click on California and look at this. You can see the map has automatically zoomed. You can unzoom this. I want to see in this like, okay, New York, what is the situation? So in the New York, you have these cities. Click on up. Now, why this is possible to make this very much interactive? Because of the hierarchy. Remember, if you have a hierarchy in the x-axis, you can play with these arrows. They're very, very powerful. Very few people know the benefit of this. All right. So now I'm going to show you 2 more examples. One is a pivot and matrix, a table and matrix, we can say, and one is a tooltip. Tables are simple things, like sometimes you don't want to show the graphical view. You want to show some tabular view as well. So I'll go and click on the table, and then maybe what I'll do, I will go and move the sales here. Look at this. You have the sales 22,000, 22 lakhs, 97,000 and so on. Okay. I want to see this by, let's say, category. I'll move the category above the column. So I have this information, right? So this looks very nice. Sometimes you want to show something like this. We will increase the size and everything. So I'll go to the font. I'll go to the format. I will search here for the global font. Remember the new word I'm using here. So when I say global font, so global font is available for table and matrices. In the one go, it will increase the size of text, value, grand total, and everything. Okay. So I'm searching here the new word global font, increase the size little bit. Now this look better. And the rest part you can do. For example, you don't require a title here. So you can have these 2 things here. And definitely this looks very nice now. And possibly you are not interested in a zeros. So you can go to the values. No, it is not there in the value. Maybe we can search here decimal. If anything is not available, you can definitely go and search for the decimal. So it's not available in a decimal here. So it will not allow us to change the decimal from here. Not a problem. We will see some other option how to remove the decimals. Very simple. Now pay attention on the screen. I'm going to add one more option here. So category, and then I'm going to add maybe, let's say, ship mode. So what has happened now? Ship mode is appearing vertically. Is this much readable data? Can I say what is the total of a first class? No, this becomes very difficult to read, right? It was good. It was looking very nice when it was only one variable. The moment I add a 2 variable, it becomes difficult to read. Okay. Now I will show you another part. I'll click on the metrics. And in the matrix, I can see there's a row is different, column is different, and value is different. So first I will do the same thing. I will move category here and I will move sales here in the value. And I will also increase the size of, so I'll look for the global font. I'll try to mesh both. Okay, looks nice now. But in the matrix, there's a one option, which is very good, kind of a column. It's nothing but a pivot table. So you have a row, you have a column, and you have a value. I hope you remember this, right? We learned this during the pivot example. I will move ship mode into column. See, now this looks better. Or maybe I can swap. Maybe I can put this here and I can put this here. Okay, this looks nice now, everyone. Compared to this, I can see the total of furniture as well. I can see total of first class as well. I can see inside the first class how furniture is working. Inside the first class, how furniture, office supply, and technologies are working. I can see vertical view. I can see horizontal view. But in a table, it is always vertical. Clear this, the difference between matrix and the table. You can do a lot of settings. It has, like extra and advanced setting options are available for table and matrix, like conditional formatting, heat map, You can do a lot of things. So I'll show you quickly. Pay attention on the screen. I'll go to the format and then your style preset. I can select like minimal. I can select this bold header. I can select this alternate rows like we have in a pivot table. No? So you have a lot of nice formatting available here, which you can definitely use. I definitely don't want to go with this so much colors. I want to go with this normal, this one. And I would like to do my own formatting. So I will go to the column header. I will change the color of a common column header as a blue and font as a white. This is what I follow. And definitely in the table also, I will do the same thing. Column header, background blue, and font white. Is this clear? The difference between table and matrix. So when to use this, sometimes you want to keep a small table here as well to show the details. So like you want to show the details by years. So I want to show the like, okay, 4 years performance, like year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, right? So what I will do, I'll create a small table here or maybe matrix. Then I'll go to the order date inside the hierarchy. I will just take the year as a vertical and I will take sales in a value. Because I just want to show this much information and I can definitely increase the size of my font by using global font. I want to give a kind of a, like to my user, okay, what exactly the data is all about. So just a small information I want to share here with my user. So you can definitely do the effects, border and this one. If you click on this 2016, it will give the information about all the 2016. So this also very nice. You can do the interaction with this as well. It works as a slicer. It works as a value as well. So it has a two purpose. You have a slicer purpose as well solved here. And you can also show some values with that here. So now I am creating a page 1 and page 2. In the page 1, I will say maybe I can take any of the column. This time I will go with the clustered column or instead of like spending time on creating, because we have a limited time. So what I will do, I will copy one of the column chart and then I will paste the column chart here. Control C, and then so you have this one. Now what happens here? Technology. So I have this one page, page 1, and in the page 2, what I'm going to create is I am going to create a cluster bar chart on the top left corner. Remember where I'm creating on the top left corner, and here I'm trying to create customer name. Do I have a customer name? Yes, I have a customer name. And then I am going to add a sales. So what exactly I'm trying to show here in this chart, what exactly this is? How do you read this chart? Sales done by each person, but I want to show here top 5 customer. So only top 5 customer I want to show. Okay. And like it may be seen Tamara, Raymond, Tom, and Adriana. So only 5 I want to show. But whenever the new customer will have more sales, it should automatically go to the top, right? So how we are going to do this? Pay attention on the screen. This page, I will give name as a top 5 customer. So I will select this chart. I will open the filter. Now I'm going to show you about this filter section. So filter on this visual. So I'm trying to apply filter on this visual. What type of filter I want to apply? I want to apply on a top 5 customers. So I will open the customer. Now I will not go and check them manually here. Okay. I will go and select the top N, and it will say, okay, top, I will say 5 customer. But by which variable you want to, by which column you want to show this as a top 5. So I will say by sales. So I'll move sales into this part and apply filter. I will see the only top 5 customers. We will do some formatting here, like the title is not very much relative. So I'll go to the title, and first time I will change the title here. So I'll mention here top 5 customer. Just I will type here as a top 5 customers. This much only. So very first time I have made some changes in the title. I have made the custom title. I'll increase the size. Maybe I can change the background. I will change the color to amber. Increase the size little bit. Okay, so these are the basic thing I'm doing. This time I will not add a border and the effect. There is a reason behind it. I'm going to explain you that. But before that, let me do some more changes. Maybe this time we will take some other color. A lot of time we have used this one, so maybe I'll take pink. Whatever you like, it's a personal choice. So I'll maybe go with the purple. Let's say purple looks nice. Okay, then what I will do, I will increase the data label size. So data label is there. So I'll try to increase the size of the data label little bit. Okay. If you want, you can make it bold. Yeah, it's visible now. Your X and Y X-axis is not required possibly. So you can definitely off the X-axis. You can also off the title. That is also not required. Sum of sales. So here also it is not required. Finally, what I will do is I will go to the value, increase a little bit size. The name should be visible, clearly visible in the proper black, maybe bold. Okay. All right. So what I did, I removed the x-axis totally. I removed the title of the x-axis. I make the y-axis as a little bold. I remove the title of the y-axis. I add a data label. I made the data label bold. I customize the title as a top 5 customer. Then I had changed the background color. I changed the bar color here as well. And the only thing which I have not done is I have not added the border and not added the effect. Okay, so these are my top 5 customers. So again, all the formattings are absolutely optional. Try to make it more readable for your users. This one we have already saw. Maybe what you can do is instead of technology, instead of this, you can put the subcategory, something like this. Make it a bigger one. I want to show you something very interesting. So sum of sales by subcategory. Okay, I'm moving to the next part. So what is my target? My target is to show this small chart which I've created as a top 5 customer. When I keep the cursor on this, I have this black box. This box is called as a tooltip. This box is called as a tooltip. I want to, like show that chart inside this box, and that too only for the phone. Like for example, if I keep my cursor on this, so I should know, okay, what are the 5 customers, top 5 customer in the phone category? What are the top 5 customer in some other category? What we are going to do here is we are going to customize our tooltip. And that's the reason we created a separate chart on a complete new page. They should not be on the same page. So keep the cursor on the blank area. Keep the cursor on this blank area. Go to the format page. You will not see any visual formatting here. You will see the page formatting here because my cursor is on this one. I'll go to the page information. I can see what is the name of the page. It's a top 5 customer, which is correct. I'm saying here, allow use as a tooltip. I'll make it on. What I did here, I select the page, I select the format, I went to the format page information, and then in the page information, I click on allow used as a tooltip. One more thing, pay attention on the screen. I'll open the canvas setting, and it says that size of this canvas is 16 by 9. Like we have a A4 page. It says this is a default size. But I say, okay, hold on, make it tooltip. Here you go. The moment you make it tooltip, the size of the page will be reduced to this box only. Now you cannot create anything here. This is just looking here. We change our top 5 customer page to tooltip, and we have changed the canvas setting to the tooltip. Now go to the subcategory visual. Select this visual. Go to the formatting of this visual. In the general formatting, where you have to go, in the general formatting, you have this tooltip. Open the tooltip box. You will see, okay, this is a report page. I say, okay, that is fine. But which page you are targeting? It says auto. I say, no, don't hold on. Don't follow the auto. I will say, refer the top 5 customers. So what I did, I selected this visual. I selected the format. I selected a general. In the general, I have already this tooltip. I've expanded this tooltip and I've selected a page here. Now you want to see the magic. See here, who is the top 5 customer in the phone? John. But the moment I move to the chair, set is the top customer. Look at this. So every time it is changing. So you have put the customer. Look at this. The chart is not giving me full information. So what I will do, I will reduce the size of the chart. I'll try to reduce the size here. Okay, now looks better. Look at this. Interesting, yes or no? This tooltip. It's a bonus tip. So we are going to understand about what exactly the DAX is. Most commonly DAX, we will see applying DAX in a use concept like, okay, how you can get the answer, like when you don't have the, how you can get the, some calculated values when you don't have direct columns. So some more type of visual we will explore, like from the marketplace, how we can get the visuals which are not available in the given list. And finally, we will publish our dashboard on Power BI services. So it's going to be 10-15 minutes work, but for this you need a license, right? So last part is a paid thing. So subtopics, we will see introduction to DAX, how we can add a new column, what is meant by new measure, what is meant by new quick measure, and then what is meant by new table. Then some commonly used DAX, we will apply the DAX and then explore some new visual from the marketplace. That is a word cloud we are going to see, and we are going to modify our dashboard. So report creation continue with the DAX. Okay. So let's do some more part in regards with the DAX. So we have 4 different type of calculations. So I'm going to start with the very first topic. And what is the first topic? The first topic is introduction to DAX. So what is DAX? data analysis expression. So what is DAX? Data analysis expression. So it is kind of a formula. It's a combination of a Excel formula and programming language. The formula which are not available directly, you can create by your own. So there are 4 ways to create a DAX. I'll go to the modeling where I am in. As of now, I'm in a modeling. Can you see all this calculation? So we have 4 different type of calculation. We have a new measure, quick measure, new column, and new table. And every element has a different definition. So I'll quickly explain you one by one. So new column, we'll start with the very first part, new column. They are not in a sequence. So new column, by name, it suggests you are trying to add a new column in your data set, where we can add a new column in our data view. We cannot add a column here, right? Here it will be the visual, but we can add a new column where we can add a new column in table. And when we go to the table, we have an option here to create a new column. You remember I mentioned one thing. This is not a kind of a free spreadsheet where you can write anything. If you want to write something here, you have to create a column here. You have to create a DAX, right? So that I'm going to show you how to create a new column. Now, one thing, don't get confused. Like you will see this option at multiple places. So currently where I am, so I'm in a data, but in a ribbon where I am in a table tool. I can see new column. Okay. Now where I am in a report section. Now tell me, can I see the new column here? Where it is available? The new column is available where? Under the modeling. So are they different? Answer is no. They are same. So if you go to the new column, it's the same thing. If you go to the data tab, you will see here a new column. It's the same thing. One more thing, pay attention on the screen. If you go to this customer table, then you have 3 dots. In the 3 dots also, you will see the new column, correct? In the 3 dots also, you have a new column. So what does this mean? All these things are same, and they will add a new column to the respective table. Currently, which table I have selected? Which table I am in? Customer detail. So if I click a new column, what will happen? The new column will be added in a customer detail. Look at this. The moment I click on the new column, I will see this option. Now, this is a very good thing here in the formula bar. You can press Control and mouse wheel, and you can increase or decrease the size. So this is a column. Column is equal to this, and whatever you will write a formula here. So we are going to write a formula here, DAX formula. DAX is nothing but a data analysis expression. It's a kind of a Excel formula, but very advanced. I've selected here table, which table? Customer detail. And then I've clicked on the new column, and the new column has been added here, a blank column, and it's asking me for value. And I press escape, it will gone because I've not added anything. I'll go to the order table. Let's say I'm in order table. I have a sales and I have a quantity and I have a profit. I want to find out the profit amount. What is a formula, basic formula for the profit amount? If I have to find out the profit amount, consider this is your Excel table. This is an Excel table. So this is a profit amount. So it's a 19 rupees the amount. And this is my sales. So I want to find out the cost price. Let's say I want to find out the cost price. So what would be my cost price? Selling price minus profit. I have a 2 column. I have a sales. So 19 rupee, I have done the sales of 19 rupee. And in this 19 rupee, I got a profit of 9 rupee. So what would be my cost price? Sales minus profit. It's a 10 rupee, whatever it is, right? So is this correct? The formula is correct. Sales minus profit. Are you clear with this? Now, do I have a cost price column here in my data set? No. So I want to add a new column here for the cost price. We are considering this is a total sales, right? As of now, I'm not going into the detailing part, right? So I'm assuming like this is my total sales. I did the sales of 19 rupees, and out of which I got a profit of a 9 rupee. It's a simple. I'm just keeping this simple. Our target is not to understand the mathematics. Our target is to understand how to add a new column here. Formula, you can add anything. That's absolutely fine. What is our objective? Our objective is to understand how we can get a new column. You can add any formula. You can do this plus this minus this plus and so on. You are free to do that. Okay. So pay attention on the screen. Where I am in a data tab. In a data tab, I have selected order table. After I selected order table, I can see the table tool on the top, and then I will click on the new column here. My purpose here to explain you the new column, what exactly this is going to happen here. So click on the new column, and then you will see here the new column is added. A blank column is added with the name as a column. If I want to give a name here as a, let's say, cost price, and I will just type here as a 10 rupee, and I will hit enter. See what happens. You will see there is a column name cost price is added with the value 10 rupee. So this 10 rupee is added for all the cells. We will definitely modify the formula, but just to explain you, this is a 10 rupee. For example, I want to write some text here. So I will write here, for example, Power BI, and I will hit enter. Now what will happen? So Power BI will be pasted in entire column. Why I have written in a double quotes? Because this is a text Text we write in a double quotes, number we write as it is. So formula can be anything. One more time, pay attention on the screen. I am right click and I will delete this one. And which file we are using? We are using the same yesterday's file. There is no new file. It's a old file and I've just rename it as a day 12. Pay attention on the screen. I'll select the table tool. I'll click on the new column. The new column window will appear here in a formula bar. And here, this is my formula where I will write the DAX expression. I can give any name of the column. Try to give the name which is not available. Don't try to give the same name. It will create a conflict. So I'm typing here as a cost price and I'm writing here value as a 10 rupee and hit enter. That's it. See, whatever we are doing here, it's not going to impact our resource. Source data is still same. So source data, we are not changing in the source data. We are changing where? We are changing in the Power BI. So remember, there are 4 things. 1, 2, 3, and this 4. So it is available under the modeling. And I will copy paste here for your reference. All right. But do we want to see a 10 rupee here? That was not our task, right? Our task was to find out the cost price. And what was the formula we decided? Sales minus profit. So in Excel, you have A, B, C, D. So you say, okay, B1 minus A1. You follow the same thing? B1 minus A1. Clear enough? But here we don't have A, B, C, D here. We directly have the columns. So in the Power BI, in the DAX, if you want to refer a column, you have to use a square bracket. Now I will type here sales. So I'm referring a sales column minus I'm referring a profit column. So now I'm doing sales minus profit and now hit enter. And now see what has happened. So this minus this, you have the different answer here. This minus this, you have a different answer. Now every row has a different answer. You got the point now? How this new column we have created, sales minus profit. So you have to give from the given list only. What is mean by this one? So this one, actually in Excel, what happens when you write a formula? The formula is a one-liner formula, right? The formula is a one-liner. But here, sometimes formula becomes too, like big that you have to go to the second line. So Alt and Enter. If I press Alt and Enter, so these are the formula lines. The formula will continue in the line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. For few Power BI, these are available. For few, it is not available. So this is an optional part. These are just indicator. Okay, you have a 5-line formula and you have a line 1 is this, line 2 is this, line 3 is this. The same formula, same. No, not different formulas. So sometimes formula becomes so big so that you can have in a multiple lines. So you got the point here related to these one, what exactly this one means and how I can go to the next line. I am here. Let's say I want to go to the next line. I will press Alt and Enter. And I can also write a comment. So this is comment line. So this is the comment. So you can write here as a comment as well. So this is not a formula. So sometimes you want to see, okay, this is a DAX. So this is created comment line. This DAX is created. I will type one more line here. This formula is created using new column option. Interesting. You can create a new lines and you can put the comments here. So this is a combination of a programming language and a formula. So DAX is a combination of a formula and a programming language. In a programming language, you write these kind of comments. I'm sure you have saw this in the SQL as well, right? In SQL also you write some comments, right? So this is the kind of a comments you can write here. Yeah. All right. So what we'll do is we have a quantity column. So minimum quantity is 1 and maximum quantity is 14. So we'll apply some formula on a quantity. So let's decide some rule here. So we have a minimum 1 and maximum you have a 14. So if the quantity is 1 to let's say 5, we can say poor. If it is from 6 to 10, we can say medium, or maybe we can say we can get only 2 values as of now as a beginner part. So from 1 to 7, it's a poor, and from 7 to 14, it's a good. So which formula I'm talking about here? I want to create another column here where I want a poor and good value. If else formula. This will be based on which column? I will check. Okay, if quantity is less than equal to 7, then it's a poor, correct? Or else it's a good. How we are going to create this? Pay attention on the screen. So I'm going to explain you. We can add this not only for number, but we can also do for the text as well. So I'll go to the table tool and I'll create a new column. Now, it doesn't matter. Just make sure like your cursor is on a right table. If your cursor is on some different table, the formula will get, the column will get added there. So here I'm saying as a type. I'm just saying as a type. We are going to write if formula, right? Look at this. So when you start the if, you will see like Excel, you will see all the formulas starting with that word A, all the formulas here. Now you have a S, U, you can see here the sum formula and everything. All the formulas available here. So I'm typing here as a if and then if logical test. What is a logical test? How I can refer to the quantity column? A square bracket. So if I'll say if quantity is less than equal to 7. Look at this. What is the answer here? Logical test. If this logical test is true, comma, then what do you want to see? In double quotes, poor. Okay. I'm just giving any sample. Just you can give any, that's fine. Comma. If it is not, then good. Close bracket. What I did, I have added a new column. In a new column, I have given the name as a type. And in the type, I have this option. If quantity is less than 7, then poor, and else it's a good. Now hit enter. Now when you hit enter, look at this. So if the quantity is 2, you are seeing poor here. If I scroll down, maybe, okay, look at this. I have some good as well. Look at this. If the quantity is 8, then it's a good. Clear how we have created this if formula? This is for the formula, for the calculations, right? It's not only for the plus and minus, for all type of formulas, because formula returns you some output. This is applicable. This formula is applicable for how many rows? Entire table. So now you will ask me question, how this is going to help me? What is the point of adding this poor and this one? Okay. Let me show you here. I'll come to my visual. I will try to have my normal visual here. Let me check today if I can copy something. I don't know why copy paste is not working for me. Actually, it should work. So I'll create a new table here, maybe, or maybe pie chart. Pie chart would be the best because I have only 2 rows. So what I will do, I will go to the order table. And in the order table, I have a type column. So type, I will move in the legend, and then I will move again type into the value. See what happens. So what it says, you have only 7% good. Rest everything is poor. What does this mean? Most of the sales are less than equal to 7 quantity. Only I can say 7% sales are done, which is above 7%. Now this one is clear how we can use this. Yes or no? One more time. Pay attention on the screen. I will do one thing. I will create a clustered column chart here. And maybe what I will do, I have a sales, I have a cost price. I'll move the cost price here in the y-axis. And in the y-axis, I move the cost price and I move the profit. 2 things. So this is my cost price and this is my profit. So I can say, okay, so this is the percentage of this one. Addition of these 2 will be my sales. So maybe I want to show this by category. So I can say, okay, in the furniture, I have a very less profit, wherein the cost price is very high for the furniture. Office supply, it's not that bad. Technology is not that bad. But for furniture, I need to think why my profit is so much low and why cost price very high. And I can see the profit is very low here. So can I do this kind of calculation? Now, these kind of visuals, this was not available. This cost price, this poor and good, they were not available in my data set. So I have to calculate it. I have to find out using the DAX, and then I can use that in my visuals. Now we are going to explore the new measure. Very first thing, new column can be added in a data set. New measure can be added anywhere here. New measure is not dependent on a table because it's a kind of a variable. It is stored a one value. So for example, let's pay attention on the screen. I have this total cost price. And if I write a formula here, sum, is it necessary I need to write a formula below this range, or I can write anywhere? I can write anywhere formula, this sum formula anywhere. I can write in the other sheet as well, right? I'm definitely not depend on this sheet. I'm not definitely depend on this part. I can write anywhere. So what exactly the new measure is doing? So new measure will help you to create a formula for an entire column, and it will store the result in a variable, in a value. So that I'm going to show you here. So for example, I have this order table, and let's say I want to see the profit percentage. So how you will calculate the profit percentage? We'll take some nice example here. Sales price, then you have a profit. So you have a sales price, let's say 10 rupee, 12 rupee, 15 rupee, 18 rupee. You have a profit 2 rupee, 3 rupee, 4 rupee, and 5 rupee. You calculate this column, and the column was this minus this. So this is your cost price. You all agree with this? You have these 2 columns and you have created cost price. Okay. Now tell me what is the formula for profit percentage? Total profit percentage, not single row by row. I want to find out total profit percentage. So the profit, how I can get the profit? First of all, first I have to find out the total of profit, right? So first I will find out equal to sum of profit column. First I have to find out profit column. Profit column divided by sum of cost price, right? Profit column divided by this one. So this will say me, okay, 34. So 34 is what? And maybe I can divide 1 by 100 possibly, or not 100. I have to convert this into percentage. So how you got this profit percentage? First, you have to find out sum of this column. Then you have to divide sum of this column. So you are doing actually two things here. One, you are finding the sum, and then you are also doing the division. Acha, what is the numerator here? In this case, what is the numerator? Numerator is the profit. So this is my numerator and this is my denominator, right? The cost price is my denominator. Clear? Numerator and denominator. Because I'm going to show you the divide formula. And the divide formula, we need a numerator comma denominator. So numerator is a sum of profit. Denominator is a sum of cost price. I'm going to show you how to create this formula in the Power BI. Now we are not in Excel. No? In Excel, it would be very easy. Power BI also very easy, but in a very different format. So pay attention on the screen. I will select the order table. Where I am, first of all, tell me I am in the report. In the report, I am in an order table. In the order table, I am in a modeling. And in the modeling, I will click on the new measure. If you don't want to go with this long way, then you can select the order table. You can go to three dots and click on new measure. So measure, again, it is showing like this here. So new measure. So I will say here, the name of the measure is profit percentage. Now, what exactly the formula inside the measure is? So I will write divide. So divide is a formula. In this, I have a numerator. Now, what is my numerator? My numerator is sum of which column? Profit column. And profit column is where? It is in a order table. So you have to be very careful here. So you have to go to order table, and order table, inside the order table, you have a profit column, and you are doing the closing bracket. You are doing the sum of this, and you are putting the result where the result is passed in the numerator of the divide formula. Okay, comma. Then I have a denominator. So I will say sum of, then I have an order table, and inside the order table, I have the cost price. Close bracket for sum, close bracket for divide. There's a one more option. There's a one more argument. So alternate result. If they give some kind of error, you have some alternate result. So alternate result, as of now, I don't want any alternate result. So I'll close the formula and I will hit enter. The moment I hit enter, the formula is created here with the profit percentage. Look at this. There is a different icons. Here, cost price has a different icon. Type has a different icon, and profit percentage has a different icon. It's a kind of a calculator icon. So when you have a calculator icon, it is a measure. Now what I will do, I will try to show this in a card. So I will create a card here, 1, 2, 3, simple 1, 2, 3 card. And I will say here, okay, pass this profit percentage here. It says 0.14, not a problem. Select the profit measure. Look at the ribbon. What do you see here on the top? You have a new measure, and then you have to click on the percentage sign. So it says like, what is the total profit you have? Somewhere around 14%. 14% is a total profit. You can create a multiple card here. Like what is my sales? What is my cost? What is my profit amount? And this is my profit percentage. It is storing a value. So if you go to the data, then you will not see here because it is not connected to the table. It is anywhere you can create. It will only appear when you create any visual. You can use this into the visual. Okay. All right. Now I will show you one more DEX. We can check what we have now. Okay. Let's say I'm going to get a count of poor and this one. I'm going to create a card here. Okay. In this card, I want to get the count of poor. Okay, fine. We have a quantity column. Okay, count of transaction. Let's take an example here. Count of transaction. So count of transaction means like I want to get the value here as a 9994. Okay, as a total count of transaction, but not using any column, but using a DEX. I want to get this info with the help of DEX. So pay attention on the screen. I'm going to show you one more DEX, and after that we will move to a little complex one. So let us finish the smallest one as of now. I'll select this order table. I'll go to this new measure. In the new measure, I will do one thing. I will type here as a count of, or maybe I can type here total transaction. Okay. And now I'm going to use a formula called as a count rows. I want to see the total transaction for which table? Which table should I refer here? You can read, you can read this one. You can read the input, the parameter. It's a table. So I can pass the value here as an order and press OK and hit enter. So our total transaction in terms of count of rows. Now look at this. You have a total transaction coming here. This total transaction can be moved in this part, and you have a 9994 rows. Is this clear how this DEX has created for total transaction? Very simple. So as I mentioned, I'm going to explain you very simple, small DEX. And after that, we will jump to the a little complex one. Now, third type of DEX here, which is a new table. Now by name, what it suggests, what exactly is going to happen with the new table? Any idea? It will create a complete new table. And in this new table, what exactly value we want to add, we will decide with the help of DEX. But in the new table, if I click on this new table, for example, look at this. So it will add a new table here. And then I can give a table name and what exactly value I'm looking in this table I can give. So I'm going to show you one more DEX example here. So let's say you have an order table, right? We'll go to the order table and we'll see what we have in the order table. So if I ask you like, okay, I want to see a small table. I don't want to refer to this big table. I want to see a small table where in the table, I want to see a category wise performance. So category wise sum I want to see. So how we are going to create this? So we are going to create a summarize. So this is a big table having around 9,994 rows. So we are creating a group by. Group by, remember everyone? So from the big table, we are going to create a small table. We are going to do a group by category, and we are going to do this by sales. Okay. So pay attention on the screen how this works. So I'll go to the modeling and I'll click on the new table. The moment I click on the new table, I have the name of the table. I will tell here, okay, let's say cat table, category table. Okay. So I'm trying to show here as a category table. So I want to get the information of a category in this table. So I'll start with the formula called as a summarize. What is the formula? What is the DEX I'm going to use here? Summarize. Now tell me what is the first argument here? It's asking me the table. Which table you are trying to connect? So I'll say go to the order table. In the order table, comma, which column you are targeting? So group by column number 1. So which column we are targeting in order table? We are targeting the category column. So this is my table name. This is my column name. Now, comma, I can have the column 2, column 3, and so on. But as of now, I don't want to go to the second level, third level. I'll stop here. And now I'll go to these two options. These two options. So what has happened by this time? I've connected to the order table. In the order table, I connected to the category. So in the output, I have something like this. So I have a category column here and I have a unique 1, 2, and 3 category. Now I want to add a new column here. The name of the column would be, let's say, total sales. It would be total sales. And what value I'm looking here is the sum of sales column. So you have a two option here, name and the expression. Now very important to pay attention on the screen. Whenever you see a word expression, it is asking for the another formula. So I will type here as a, for example, I will type here as a, in a double quotes, total sales, which is going to be my name of the column. And now I can see it's not very much clear. So what I will do, I will press Alt Enter in order to get this information in a new line. So this is a new line I will take, double quotes close, comma, and the expression. So expression, what is asking is, I'll give here as a sum of which column? I need to do a sum of sales, right? So order table and sales column. I have 4 arguments. As of now, there is no result at all because this table is blank. The moment I hit enter, this cat table is created. If I go to the data and if I look at this, look at here. This cat table is created with the same arguments. Pay attention on the screen one more time. Pay attention on the screen. So this is the result. This is the result of this DEX. So we created new table. The name of the table is this. We summarize order table, category column. Now this total sales is, where do you see? Is nothing but a header. And inside this, what we have a sum of order sales. If I do count here, what will happen? Little confused with order category and sum of. See, order category is the category column. So you have a category column and you have a sales column. These two columns are there in your data set. In category column, what information you have? So in the category column, you have a furniture, you have a office supply, you have a technology. And in the sales, you have a value 10, 20, 30, and so on. So what you are doing is you are grouping this column by sum of this column. So you are grouping this column. So you have grouping category column and you want to see sum of furniture there. You want to see sum of furniture, sum of office supply, and so on. Okay, if I want the count of category, so I can do here as a count. So you have a count formula and now hit enter. Then you will have a count here. So look at this. This is a count. Let's say you want to see the average. You can do count of category. Yes, any column. That's okay. You can do the count of category column. If you're doing the count of category column, then you have to be a little careful. Why? Because category column can be a missing partner. There must be some missing column, missing rows, some missing information. So you need to be a little careful. You can do the count of category this. If I want to see the average, then I need to use average. And which column? Instead of count, I will use average. Then you have to give a sales column here. Remember. Now I'll ask you one more question. Pay attention on the screen. This is very easy. So we'll keep this one. Now I'll ask you one thing. I don't want to see group by category. I want to see group by subcategory. So where I change, where should I make some changes? I want to see by subcategory. So where? Second field. So this one. So if I change this category to subcategory, then see what happens. You have a subcategory here. Now I want to see by region. If I want to see the region and sum of region. So where I make the changes? I'll make the changes here. Here I will do, I don't have a region here, I think. So what I have, I don't have much text column here. I have a type. Okay. I'll go with the type. And here I will go with the, again, type. Remember we created poor and good. So this is a type. So count of poor is 9,300 and 685, 9,300 and good is 685. And now you can change the, instead of total sales, you can give a name here, right? So it's a simple one. It's not that difficult. As I mentioned, now once you start looking at the proper argument, you made some changes and you will see the result and that becomes easy. Okay. So we have successfully completed this part. Use this new table, the concept of new table. So this is only one formula. There are many formulas. Quick measure. This is very interesting. Everyone clear with this? Okay, now let's do some nice things, right? So I have simple column chart here, possibly. I'll go with the simple column chart. In an order table, I have, let's say, for example, year on year. So this is my year in the x-axis. And in the y-axis, I need to create a one formula here. I need to create a one simple formula, one DAX for the sum. So I'll create first a small measure. So I'll go to the new measure and I will create a new measure like this, total sales. And I'll give a sum of order table and in an order table sales column. Okay. So I've created this small measure first and I've given the name as a total sales. Remember, and to make sure like this, we are going to use in a quick measure. So I will just put the dollar sign here so that we understand, okay, this is a measure. Okay. And that dollar sign will help me that this measure will come on the top. In the order table, this will come on the top. Look at this. So this measure I've created a small measure by creating three dots, clicking on the three dots. I've clicked on the new measure and the formula is very simple. Sum of my sales column. Okay. I'll move this sales new measure here. This looks okay. Very nice. But I don't want to see like this. I want to see some different view. I want to see year on year growth, or I can say cumulative frequency, right? So I have a, let's say 2013 and in 2014, I want to see addition of 13 and 14. In 15, I want to see 13, 14 and 15. And then in 16, I want to see like this. So I want to see this kind of view. You got the point what exactly we are looking here? We're looking for CF or cumulative sum. And you can do this for month as well. Huh? You can do this for month as well. You can do this for quarter as well. We will start with the very basic thing. So first of all, this is clear? The first measure is clear. I want you to try create this quickly because that is going to be our, the important function. So pay attention on the screen now. I'll select the order table. I'll go to the three dots and now I'm going to click on this part. New quick measure. So I'll click on the new quick measure and here you go. A template has appeared here with a lot of calculations. A lot of different calculations are available here. Maybe what I will do is I will show you time intelligence one, or instead of cumulative frequency, we can go with the time intelligence. So I will click on year to date total. Which measure I've selected here? Time intelligence, year to date total. It is asking me two information, base value and the date. So what exactly your base value is and what is your date? So my base value is, I'll go to the order table and I will move this drag and drop. Total sales, I will drag and drop here. And in a date, possibly I will move the order date. So I want to see year to date total with the based on the order date. Okay. So I've not mentioned here as a year or something like this. Okay. I've just mentioned as a order date and I'll just press OK. The moment I press OK, I will see there is a new measure which is automatically created, total sales YTD. If I click on this, look at this. This is a measure. So we have not created this. This was a ready template. It's a time intelligence one, right? Let me show you how this will look in your bar, in your data bar. Or instead of this, I will pass this total YTD. As it is a YTD, I think I'll have to show some hierarchy here. For example, look at this. So this is how it will look like. Still, it is not working the way we are expecting is. And then I will move the total sales. Here you go. Look at this. Or maybe I can show you this better in a matrix. Huh? So to make you more clear what exactly looks like. So pay attention on the screen, everyone. So I'll go to the order date. I will move the month here and then I will move the total sales in the value and I will move total YTD here as well. Okay. So look at this and definitely we have a year as well. Okay. So I will not forget to add a year here. Okay. Now try to understand this one. This was your total sales, which you have already created with the normal function. It says in January 2013, so the sales was 14,236. Then February was 4,500. And look at this. What this is returning you? January was 14,000. And what is a February value? It is that addition of Jan and Feb. Now in the month of March, it's addition of Jan, Feb, March. And that's why I've put this in a tabular form so that you can do some like a calculation here. So you can check here how this is working. So I can see here, okay, this is what my total is going on, and this is what my total YTD is going on. Now you will say, okay, what is the point of this? Why we are creating this? How my user will understand this part, right? So I'll keep this on a side, and then I'll come back on this part. Maybe I think bar chart would be the good one here, and I will add a month here as well. And instead of total sales, I'm going to add this one. Okay, look at this now. So now read this one. So you have given a target of something like, let's say this is a 4,84,000 is your December total for the month of for the year 2013. And let's say your target was 3 lakhs. Your target was 3 lakhs. Somewhere here your target was 3 lakhs. So you have to check, okay, when you met the target. So I'm going to add a line here as well, which will help me to show the proper way here. So if I click on this part, maybe what we can do is we can add one slicer here. So this is a little complex example, as I've already explained you in the beginning. So don't get stressed about this one. Once it is completed, it will become very easy and simple to see. So I'll create a small slicer here for, let's say, year. Acha, year it's showing like this. So maybe I can go with this list box. So 2013. So you have given a target of 3 million in order to complete your 0.3 million in order to complete the target, right? So you have to check, okay, when you have achieved this target. You started working in the month of January, you achieved 14,000 sale. In the February, your sales was 18,000. Then in the March, it's addition of Jan, Feb, March. In the April, it was addition of all these three. And slowly you are moving towards your target, which is a 3 lakhs. Your target is a 3 lakhs. And you can see somewhere in the month of September, you achieve the target. Now, how I can present this in my graph? So I will select this. I will go to analytics. I will add a constant line of, let's say, 3 lakhs. And look at this. This is my target line. Maybe I can make it as a black. And here you go. So this is my target. So at the start of the year 2013, my manager has set the target of 3 lakh rupee. And I've been asked, okay, you have to achieve this target by the end of the year. I started working January, February was a very low month. There was no sales at all. Then in the March, the sale has increased. Then I started adding the sales every month. And by the end of September, I was able to achieve my target of 3 lakhs. And by the end of year, I have overachieved my target, which was around 4,84,000, right? So what exactly we have done is we have created this quick measure. This is very interesting, but little tricky to read this one. So we have created this one. Table is definitely not required. This is only for your understanding how it works. So we have created a nice, we can say slicer, then a bar chart and a target line. Now, new thing, everyone pay attention on the screen. I'm selecting the bar chart. Now, let's say your manager has given you a target of 4 lakh and I want to show a line of a 4 lakh here. So I will select the chart, the bar chart, and I will go to the analytics where I am in analytics. I will add a constant line here. I will add a line here and I will give a name of the line. I selected this bar chart. I selected the analytics. I selected this a constant line. I add line and in the line, I will type a value here. So what is the value? Let's say 4 lakh, 400,000 is the value. And I'll make the value as a black. See what has happened. My chart has completely disturbed. Now this is not readable, right? Everyone agree with this? I'll copy and paste here a second chart. So I'll create a copy of this. And this chart I'm going to create. I'll select the order table. Now this is the important line. This one measure will change the entire view of the chart. I'll select the order table. I'll go to the new quick measure. What I'm going to select here is a new quick measure and select here year to date total in the calculation drop down. See, 100 formulas are ready-made available here. You even don't have to write the formula. Almost 100 formulas are available here, or not even 100 and close to at least 100. So in a base value, open the order table, expand this order table. In the base value, move total sales. And in the date column, move the date hierarchy. All right, now press OK. All right, so you can see here the new column, new formula, total sales YTD. You have a new formula called as a total sales YTD. Now in my second graph, I will move out the total sales column and then I will move in total sales YTD. Now tell me which looks much better, the first or the second. You have given a target of 4 lakh rupee and then you have started working on this. And in the month of somewhere September or October, you have achieved the target. No, sorry, I think in the November, last week of November, you have achieved the target. This is better visualization is compared to this one. This was good month on month. But when you have this type of target, yearly target, then this becomes easy. So in this entire calculation, in this entire view, what is the important thing? Which one thing is a very important because of which we are able to see this graph? Which one thing is important, which has changed the entire view? So this new quick measure plays a very important role. See, we have tried with the normal measure. This total sales is a normal new measure, but new quick measure is a more powerful. So you have in the modeling, if you go to the modeling, you will see here new measure and new quick measure. So new measures are really good, but new quick measures are very powerful. It has, like capability of showing something which is not possible here. They are actually part of this only, but here you don't have to put a lot of efforts. You have just drag and drop and your formula is done.